Imagine a future that completely flips the script on how we learn. We're diving into a visionary concept today that experts believe could transform education literally forever. We're talking about agentic AI. Now, unlike standard AI that just spits out answers to your questions, agentic AI actually acts with agency. It adapts, it plans, and it takes initiative, almost like your own personal teacher. It's a wildly fascinating look at exactly where learning is headed, so let's just jump right in. Picture this. It's the year 2046. The morning school bell rings, and millions of kids walk into classrooms all around the globe. And, just think about the incredibly diverse mix of students walking through those doors. Some are super excited, some are pretty nervous, some are really struggling to keep up, while others, well, they're just completely bored because the lesson is moving way too slowly for them. Okay, let's dive into this because it represents a centuries-old, basically impossible challenge for the traditional classroom model. Right? For hundreds of years, education has bumped up against this exact same wall. How do you take a single room and tailor it perfectly to fit every single individual sitting there? And this brilliantly illustrates the sheer scale of the problem. 30. One teacher, 30 students. That means 30 completely different learning styles, 30 different dreams, 30 different speeds of understanding. Honestly, no matter how brilliant a teacher is, trying to perfectly cater to 30 unique minds, all at the exact same time, is just an incredibly difficult task. Let's move to and see how this builds into our first major shift. Enter the AI teacher. In this proposed future, every student gets an intelligent, autonomous guide that understands exactly how they tick. To ground this, let's meet Emma. She's 12 years old and she is absolutely obsessed with astronomy. But math feels incredibly difficult for her. Every single time fractions pop up on the whiteboard, you can literally see her lose all her confidence. And usually, she'd just get the exact same explanation repeated to her over and over again, which, let's be real, doesn't really help. Now, what's really interesting about this is how her agentic AI teacher tries something totally different. First, it zeroes in on her undeniable passion for space. Second, it instantly adapts the math lesson. So now it's teaching her fractions using planets, orbits, stars, even rocket missions. And third, the whole thing becomes completely personal. Suddenly, those confusing numbers just click for Emma. Not because the lesson magically got easier, but because it finally spoke her language. Meanwhile, across the room, the AI is adapting in totally different ways for all of Emma's classmates. One kid learns best by watching visual animations. Another prefers getting their hands dirty with practical problem solving. A third just learns best by talking it out through conversational learning. The AI quietly personalizes the journey for every single one of them. And the human teacher? They are leading the room. They're inspiring curiosity, tackling those big, high-level questions, and encouraging teamwork. The AI basically handles the personalized pacing, which frees the human teacher up to do what humans do best. Lifelong, personalized learning. And this personalized journey doesn't just stop at high school graduation. Think about the broader applications here. At a university, a simulation agent could let medical students practice complex procedures safely before they ever touch a real patient. An engineering agent helps students build virtual bridge designs. Out in the real world, a factory worker trying to upskill in robotics gets a learning plan that automatically adjusts to their pace. And crucially, imagine a child in a remote village with hardly any resources. With responsible tech deployment, an AI assistant could translate lessons and help them practice skills right alongside local educators. The whole game changes. Knowledge just becomes immensely more accessible. The irreplaceable human element. Take a second right now and think back to your favorite teacher growing up. Maybe they believed in you when you completely doubted yourself, or they gave you that much-needed pep talk after a tough failure. Those profound moments simply cannot be automated. So the crucial point is this contrast. Human teachers bring wisdom, profound empathy, genuine creativity, and core values. An AI might be great at explaining fractions, but it can't celebrate your big win with real, genuine warmth. What agentic AI does bring to the table is deep personalization, instant feedback, continuous practice, and of course, unlimited patience. Together, education becomes stronger. Great teachers do so much more than just transfer facts. They literally shape lives. And that's exactly why the future classroom isn't some zero-sum game where we have to choose between human teachers and advanced tech. It's about combining that beautiful empathy and encouragement of a human with the boundless patience of an AI. That combination makes education vastly stronger than either could ever achieve on its own. Balancing risks and rewards. Now, as we look impartially at this exciting future, we've got to establish some incredibly strict guardrails. The first major hurdle we have to tackle is this. How do we protect student privacy? I mean, these AI learning agents are going to be processing an absolute mountain of personal data to work effectively. Safeguarding that data, ensuring it's locked down and never misused, is absolutely critical. And equally important, how do we prevent bias and ensure equal access? Technology has got to be designed to support fairness. We have to make absolutely sure these tools are expanding opportunities for everyone rather than accidentally creating or widening new inequalities in the system. Unlocking ultimate human potential. When we actually get those guardrails right, the expert consensus is incredibly optimistic. The greatest classroom of the future won't be defined by how smart the computers are, but by how empowered the students become. Because honestly, education has never really been about just memorizing facts. Artificial intelligence is probably going to become an extraordinary teacher, but the true purpose of education will always be helping people become the very best version of themselves. Which really leaves us with one thrilling question to think about. When every single student has an endlessly patient, personalized genius right in their pocket, what kind of new heights will human potential reach? Well, that wraps up our journey into the future of the classroom. But our exploration of this incredible source material doesn't stop here. In our next explainer, we're leaving the classroom totally behind and stepping into a futuristic factory unlike anything you have ever seen. We're going to see exactly what happens when intelligent robots are actually guided by Agentic AI and how it could completely revolutionize things like manufacturing, healthcare, and agriculture. If you loved this explainer and want to keep exploring the wild future of Agentic AI with us, please make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel and turn on your notifications. You definitely won't want to miss out as we continue unpacking our AI future. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. Keep on learning, and I'll see you in the next one.